The rain had just started to fall when Mark saw her sway and stumble. For a split second, the world seemed to slow down. A child, all alone, collapsing at a bus stop, while everyone else hurried past with heads down and phones in hand. Mark felt his chest tighten, the way it did when something important was about to change. He didn't know her name yet. He didn't know her story, but he knew one thing for sure: walking away was not an option. Before the story begins, take a moment to support the channel. If stories about kindness, hope, and everyday heroes move you, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep telling meaningful stories here on your channel name. Mark Thompson was a single dad doing his best to hold life together. At 37, he balanced 2 jobs, packed school lunches before sunrise, and read bedtime stories even when his eyes could barely stay open. His 8-year-old son, Liam, was his whole world. Since Liam's mother passed away 3 years earlier, Mark had learned how heavy responsibility could feel and how powerful love could be. That evening, Mark was waiting at the downtown bus stop after a long shift at the warehouse. He just wanted to get home, heat up leftovers, and help Liam with his science project. The bus stop was crowded, the air damp and gray. People stood close but somehow felt far apart. That's when Mark noticed the little girl. She looked about 7 years old, wearing a thin pink jacket that was too light for the chilly weather. Her hair was pulled into uneven ponytails, strands sticking to her pale face. She stood near the bench, swaying slightly, like she was trying very hard not to fall. Mark watched her take a step forward, and then her knees buckled. She collapsed onto the wet pavement. For a moment, no one moved. Mark's body reacted before his mind did. He dropped his bag and rushed to her side, kneeling in the rain. "Hey, sweetheart," he said gently. "Can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered open, unfocused and tired. Her lips trembled. I'm sorry," she whispered, as if collapsing were something she needed to apologize for. Mark's heart cracked right there. He checked her forehead. It was burning hot. She was shaking, her small hands ice cold despite the fever. He pulled off his jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders, shielding her from the rain. "Does anyone know her?" Mark called out. People glanced over, then away. A few shook their heads. The bus arrived, doors hissing open. One by one, people boarded, stepping around them like it was an inconvenience. Mark felt a surge of anger, but he swallowed it. This wasn't about them. This was about her. He called 911, keeping his voice calm while his heart raced. The dispatcher asked questions. Mark answered, stroking the girl's hair, telling her she was safe. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Emily," she whispered. "Emily, Mark. Right here. Help is coming, okay?" She nodded weakly, then winced. "I missed my bus," she said. "I waited and waited." Mark imagined his own son standing alone somewhere, scared and sick, hoping someone would help. The thought made his chest ache. The ambulance arrived within minutes. Paramedics lifted Emily onto a stretcher, checking her vitals. One of them looked at Mark. "Are you her father?" Mark hesitated. "No, but I'm not leaving her." They exchanged a look, then nodded. "You can ride with us." At the hospital, Mark sat beside Emily's bed as doctors worked quickly. She had a high fever, dehydration, and a severe infection that had been building for days. The doctor said quietly, "Another few hours, and this could have been much worse." Mark felt his knees go weak. Emily's mother arrived later that night, tears streaming down her face. She was young, exhausted, wearing a fast food uniform. She kept apologizing over and over, explaining how she worked double shifts, how Emily insisted she was fine, how she had no one else to watch her. Mark listened without judgment. He had been there, overwhelmed, stretched thin, terrified of failing the person who needed you most. "You didn't fail her," Mark said gently. "You're here, and she's going to be okay." Emily stayed in the hospital for 3 days. Mark visited every evening after work, sometimes bringing Liam along. Liam would draw pictures for Emily's stick figures holding hands under bright suns. Emily smiled more each day. On the third night, as Mark tucked the blanket around her, Emily looked up at him. "You didn't leave me," she said. Mark swallowed hard. "No, I promised." Those words stayed with him long after Emily went home. Weeks passed, life returned to its busy rhythm. But Mark couldn't stop thinking about that night at the bus stop, about how easy it would have been to look away, about how one small choice had changed everything. One afternoon, Mark received a letter in the mail. Inside was a child's drawing. It showed a man with a big jacket wrapped around a little girl, rain falling from the sky. Above them, in shaky letters, were the words, "Thank you for seeing me." There was also a note from Emily's mother. She wrote about how that moment had changed her too, how she asked for help at work, how she found community support, how she promised herself she would never be too tired to notice when someone needed kindness. Mark sat at the kitchen table, tears blurring his vision. Liam hugged him without asking why. That night, Mark told Liam the full story. "Being kind doesn't always mean big things," Mark said. "Sometimes it just means stopping." Liam nodded thoughtfully. "Like when I helped Ben with his math," he said, "or when you helped Emily." "Exactly," Mark smiled. Months later, on a sunny spring morning, Mark saw Emily again, this time running across a playground, laughing, healthy and full of life. She waved when she spotted him, her smile bright enough to erase the memory of that rainy night. Mark waved back, his heart full. He realized then that kindness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it looks like a jacket in the rain, a hand on a shoulder, or the courage to care when others walk away. And in a world that often feels rushed and disconnected, those small acts can mean everything. So if you ever find yourself standing at your own bus stop moment, when you can choose to look away or step forward, remember this story. Remember Emily. Remember Mark. And remember that kindness, no matter how small it seems, has the power to save a life and heal a heart.